Like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm your host, CernerSandals, and tonight we are getting ready for a bit of an interesting matchup here, as it is Akimbo Esports getting ready to take on Classless, and this is their fourth game of the season, if I'm not mistaking myself here. No, third game of the season, having already started off 2-0. Now, one to pick up that third win. Their opponent, Classless, currently sitting at 1-1. And this might actually be a bit of an interesting one, as both these teams have some pretty high level players on these rosters.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. Very excited to see how these two play. Classless has played Ancient already this season. They lost to Panto, I believe. But very excited to see what Akimbo can show us on Ancient. They were a very strong team last season in advance. So I have no doubt that Akimbo should be taking this match fairly convincing fashion.
Yeah, like you said, having taken third place last season is certainly going to be a strong point for them. Last season they played under Esports then, so obviously a bit of a name change, org change as they go under Akimbo this season. Classless, of course, being the former roster of Detonate, at least to some degree. Have players like Louis Mason and Landmaz there, with a couple of extra pickups like Kermi and Legend. So overall, it's you're kind of looking at this one and you're thinking, all right, classes or not classes, Akimbo having played definitely a bit more of the playoff games and everything like that, they're looking like they might have a bit of that advantage. But at least we get to see what's going on tonight, and we do have the map veto coming up. Let's give that a quick look here. Looking at the rosters, though, first we do have for the side of Akimbo, Katie, Florence, Flixie, Nice, and Noxio. And for classes, we have Mason, Kermit, Louis, Legend, and Landmaz. The classless one might be slightly different. I'm not 100%, but that should be generally what we're about seeing there. And then looking at some of the vetoes here, we do have Ancient here as our decider. Nuke, Vertigo, Inferno, Mirage, Anubis, and Overpass have all said bye-bye, and we are going to Ancient. Which, personally for me, I'm seeing it much more here lately when it comes to a bit of these more advanced games. There's a lot of teams playing Ancient nowadays.
Yeah, I think with the adjustments to the spawns with CS2, Ancient is a lot more of a balanced map. At least from the limited amount that I've actually played and watched it. But now T sides feel slightly weaker. CT sides feel slightly stronger again. Mid control is easier for CTs to be able to take again. So I think a lot of teams that were like more hesitant to pick up Ancient are more willing to play the map now that it's maybe a little bit easier to ease into.
Yeah, I agree. Just some of the way Counter Strike 2 has functions has changed how everything sort of flows nowadays. Now I am seeing Frack's camera for whatever reason in the stream is very laggy. I don't know what that. I think could just be an OBS Ninja issue, but it is running at a very shocking frame rate. I don't know what. Oh wait, it looks like it might be doing a bit better now. I'm seeing it looking better on my end. It looks like we might be. It's looking.
It looks fun on my end.
It's looking fine in the OBS window, but like when it's coming to the actual stream, it is very. Oh, I think it's picked up. I don't know. We'll see as things go on, but overall, we are very excited here for this one, and this is going to be quite the interesting one. Obviously, it's still early season, so there aren't very high stakes for this matchup as well. But I mean, obviously, it's going to be important as we continue to march forward through this regular season and closer to those elusive playoffs, as we always like to cover great playoffs here. And it's going to be good to see how things are shaping up going forward. But oh my, it looks like teams are already getting to the knife round, and we should be just about ready to get things started here in this one. So I think we'll jump right into things with the map veto in just a moment, or not with the map veto, the map intro in just one moment. All right, here we go. What just happened? My game just closed. That's odd. Let's give that another try. But anyways, we'll quickly jump into the game real quick. or jump into the map intro real quick and talk a bit more about Ancient, because that is where we are going tonight. Ancient, of course, like we were saying, with some of these balance changes with CS2, has become a much more popular pick, and we'll be able to see how it goes for either side as this match unfolds. And, well, Frack, it's what is going on? My game is crashing. I apologize for this one. I'm not quite sure what is going on. Let me give the HUD manager a quick restart here. I cannot say I had this issue last time. We're going to throw it to a very short break here. We'll be right back once we get underway. And we're getting straight into the thick of things here. I need to lower the volume because, wow, that is loud. What in the good gravy, that is loud. There we go. Back to some normal levels. Unfortunately, we have missed a few rounds here to kick things off in the first half. It is Classless leading by 1 here on their T side. Akimbo, though, have brought back 2 rounds of their own as we get started here in this first half. We apologize for missing those first few rounds. It appears that the IP that we had was just bunk and would not allow us in. But Frack, we are finally in and getting to watch this game of Counter-Strike.
Yes, we are very happy to finally be in server, and Akimbo looked to tie up the scoreboard here at 3 apiece as the remaining 3 Classless players are jumping out of cave, and Nice with 1, but Katie should be able to find the last 2, and with a quick spray down, we're tied at 3.
Yeah, that we are. Oh gosh.
Classless with enough money to buy here, and what I believe Louis had Kyo bought an AK last round to try and give Classless something to fight with, but there we go. Now we're gonna see. Now we're gonna see Legend on a Mac 10 because of it. But
yeah, there are some serious sacrifices here for the side of Classless to have more of the weaponry. I mean, Gertz having dropped down to that Galil. You know, you do have Kermie, Mason, and Louis all on those AK-47s, so they're going to have at least a little bit of firepower here. But Legend on the Mac 10, this is going to be a play that either works out really well or it just kind of is a bit of a non-starter here. Because if that Mac 10 can activate and find a kill, can have some serious great implications for the round, but overall, up against the AKs and the M4s of the side of Akimbo, it's not looking so great. But this play out from Mason, though, to start things off, might be able to pick up an opener, and does as Mason picks up Noxio. Now, there's only one player really left defending this B-bomb site, as Florence is on the rotation in with the AK-47.
Yeah, it's going to be down to how Nice can pivot around in towards cave here, but Florence definitely with a very capable spot as Katie comes up towards long and finds the head of Mason. Kermie finds Florence over towards lane. Legend with that Mac 10 trying to find this cave player, and Nice goes down.
Mac 10.
4-on-2 in post here in favor of Classless.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-2, and that Mac 10, we talked about just for a little bit there, talking about how he was either kind of going to have that impact or it was going to be a bit of a non-starter. Legend makes the impact there with it and does find that kill on Nice. That shuts down the cave play, and that just ends any sort of potential hope for retake coming out from Akimbo, right? Flixie and Katie, they've both made their way over towards the A site. Sorry, and now it's going to be Classless playing a bit of leapfrog as they get themselves back into that 1-round lead here at the end of round number 7.
Yeah, Akimbo definitely has the money if they want to force back into this. It's going to be a weaker buy, but they do have that option in front of them. Classless picking up an M4 for that Mac 10. They're going to be feeling pretty happy with themselves with how that round played out. But see what Akimbo opts to do, and they will opt to buy into this round. 2 M4s and an MP9 on Noxio are going to end up being bought as they start taking mid-control here for the side of Akimbo. And some aggression coming out from Nice up to Cheetah, possibly looking to pop through the smoke.
Yeah, potentially.
He's going to just opt to play behind the smoke, play a little bit safer. But Katie on the other side of Cat here does go down to Louis, but Florence gets one back. Kermi will trade onto Florence, and Nice through the smoke finds 2.
What a double kill out from Nice there to even things back out in the round. Does get traded out by Gertz, but the damage has been done, and now Classless, they're split up around the map here, but in the same breath, so are Kimbo in at least some sort of fashion here. I mean, Noxio has no B control, you know, playing in towards Jaguar, watching for that sort of T-spawn to B main push here, but Mason's on the hunt as well. There is some serious back and forth action happening here. Nobody finding each other, but Gertz will take down the kill onto Noxio and forces Flixie into the 1v2. Does have the AK-47. 43 seconds on the clock. The bomb will be going down towards that B-bomb site. Gertz spinning it up a little bit before getting that one down, and it's Mason to find the kills. Flixie tried to go in for the retake there. 5-3. Classless continue to pick up some rounds here on this T side. Akimbo, they'll be forced to take a bit of an eco here. And let's see what kind of buys they're able to muster up here on this round number 9. They do have the USPs. I mean, Flixie could go for something like a Deagle and Armor. Has at least picked up a Deagle, and there you have it. Deagle and Armor coming out. Katie as well, opting for the same setup. And there has been like a P250, a couple 5.7s. Nade picked up for Nice. There are some pieces here for Akimbo to work with, but overall, Classless are just going to be hitting the go button over towards this A site. Flixie on the Deagle. Can he find one? No. Legend gets that kill, running it with the Mac 10. It's going to be Florence, actually, to find one. And Katie from spawn with the Desert Eagle to take another one here. There's plenty of fights happening around the A bomb site. There's no way to get this bomb down safely, but it eventually will be all cleaned up for Classless. They only lose 2 kills, and they do get the round up now 6-3.
Yeah, that round is very reminiscent of an earlier round where Akimbo, again on pistols, I believe it was round 3 before we got our stream in order, but Akimbo was able to make a pistol round very expensive for the side of Classless. But losing 2 guns there isn't going to be the end of the world, as Classless will have money for the rest of the half, but I think you can 2 kills sometimes is a little bit of a confidence booster when you're on these pistol buys. But early mid aggression coming out from both teams. Trades go either way quickly, and Courage finds Flixie through the smoke in house. And now Akimbo are left on the opposite side of the map in a 2-on-3 disadvantage. Legend bringing bomb up through A main here. Kermi is low on HP, so this retake is definitely doable if they can find a way back into the site.
Ooh,
and a Molotov that bounces kind of funny is going to give them the chance to get active here as OCT swings through smoke, and Nox is good for 2.
And Nox finding
2, 1v1 now.
No information about Gertz, and Gertz has all the advantage here. Tries to spray through that smoke. Nox, now's the information. Spots it, but it's Gertz to find the kill there with the AK-47. Shuts it down. That was a great clutch attempt, nevertheless, coming out. And it will be Classless, so they have secured that lead going into the second half. 7-3 now is the score, and this half is going very well here for Classless. They are doing quite well, and I mean, this kind of shows as to why, you know, this is where we're going. This is where we have ended up on the map of Ancient, as it's a very strong pick, clearly for Classless, at least in this first half here, showing some serious strengths as we move forward. And Akimbo now forced to take another eco here. They do have a couple of those Deagles, a few of those 5.7s. Can they make more of the success that we saw on round number 9? Were they able to get a couple of those openers? It was just when it came to the insane amount of pressure that was being seen around that A site where things really started to fall apart.
Yeah, Akimbo back on pistols here are going to try and look to possibly pop into some of these rifles and just outnumber them. But with with Classless playing very slow. Oh, great shot coming out from Louis onto Florence. The Classless is playing kind of slow and not really forcing anything to give up their gun advantage here.
Yeah, they're letting Akimbo kind of play into them, and that's a great way to go about it. Kermi picks up another kill, but Nice in this corner might have a bit of a nasty surprise lying in wait and does take down one. Oh my! The double swing for Louis as well. And now this round's back to a 3-on-3 here. Gertz will swing things back in favor here. Does take down the kill onto Katie. But FraqKTR is still able to make these rotations here relatively freely up through CT, but wants to find the fight on Gertz towards Cat. And this does make sense, right? If you can sandwich this kill, get the AK down, that would be an extra rifle here for that CT side retake there. A bomb does go down. Nice goes for the fight, but unfortunately cannot convert it. FraqKTR playing in towards House just kind of has to go for the save here. 1v3 with that Desert Eagle, but then again, there's also not much to lose either, so might as well give it your best shot. FraqKTR getting his way forward. Walking up through that smoke, and nobody's really looking his way, so he might be able to catch off a cheeky one tap here. Oh, gets a little awkward. Takes down one. We still got two more to find. Knows about the player in towards Cave. Spots it out. Makes another shoulder, but there's no more time left on the bomb. Gets the tap out. FraqKTR, great kills with the Deagle. Gets all three, but unfortunately, the bomb ticked down so low. He's got no health. He's going to die. And there he goes. At least dies in style. And we wrap up. And we get to round number 12 here, last of the half. But Akimbo, they certainly want to make this an 8-4 instead of a 9-3.
Yeah, some nice shots coming out from FraqKTR there towards the end of that round. And Nice definitely, unfortunately, feels the effects of not having armor there with the AK. Possibly gets one if he does have a Kevlar vest, but... Or third, I mean, but...
Right.
Yeah, last round of the half, and still doesn't feel real to say sometimes when we're talking about CS and MR12.
Yeah.
But
MR12 certainly had a lot of changes, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. But Akimbo trying to put up a fourth and maybe start a little bit of momentum into their T side. But here with M4s across the board with an op out on Florence. And by just the AKs here for Classless is they're going to be taking some late mid control possibly, with Gertz walking out towards bottom mid. Ooh, the smoke coming out house from, I believe that was Louis.
Now, Louis has sent that smoke forward potentially here. Could have also maybe been from another one of the players around here, but FraqKTR taking a fight. No, I think he ran into ammo. The magazine clicks dry. Florence, though, does at least trade back one. Legend burning alive. Was that a 1G, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure with the way the kill feed sometimes is a little broken. Katie, though, with the A1, takes down one. No more, though, and now it's a 2v2. Nice and Noxio up against Mason and Louis. There's a lot riding on this round here. Who will take some of that momentum towards the next half here? Classless, they've been riding a huge wave of momentum going forward towards the late stages here, but can make it happen to at least pick up one more round. It's all left onto Louis in the 1v2. Spots out the first, but it's Noxio to swing around to find the kill, getting the bomb stick as well. It is a fourth round secured here for Akimbo as we get ready to switch sides. And it's so unfortunate that we missed those first few rounds due to the bad IP that we received. But I mean, this was a great half overall from both sides. It was just came down to more of the gunfights going the way of Classless.
Yeah, if you look at a lot of those gun rounds, you see a lot of trades going back and forth very quickly, both directions, and a lot of the time we're left in 2-on-2s, 2-on-3s, and a few clutches, but a lot of good trades coming out from both teams, and very excited for the second half of CS.
Yeah, second half getting underway. Just around, and Akimbo, they have gone for 3 players over towards B. Nox, along with the side of FraqKTR and Florence, I believe. Or no, Nice there. And Noxio does at least get that kill onto Louis. Now, rotate around here. Nox, going around, spotting out. Nice takes down Gertz, and he's going to be getting that bomb plant down here. So it's a 4v2 retake, and Akimbo themselves up really well here to take this first around. Nice gets those final 2 kills, and It's 8-5. Akimbo, they get this round.
Yeah, that's going to be a very important round if you want to start your comeback. Obviously, every round is important, but starting off with a pistol, it's even more so, especially with this new economy. New loss, but the same loss bonuses, but fewer rounds to play means that
Much
each
more
one of
pressure.
these round wins, each one of these round wins means so much more. And Classless opting to just save this round and concede a sixth, likely concede a sixth, but just get out the M4s as soon as possible.
Which, I mean, when you look at CS2 and kind of the current economic meta, are you thinking of, maybe should teams be going more for those third round purchases, or should they be going more for those force buys in second round after pistols?
I think it's situational, map dependent, score dependent, and how good your team is on forced like pistol buys,
Okay.
MP9 and the such. Also, I think generally speaking, if you lose pistols as CT, I think getting out A1's second round is going to almost universally be better than conceding 3 rounds and then getting out a buy. But a quick nice little B pop coming out for Akimbo.
Yeah, coming straight out towards that B-bomb site now. There is one player left. Legend does have the USP playing behind the smoke there. But overall, there's not much that can realistically be said. Legend is just kind of alone here, having that USP and stuck in a corner with no kit as well. So unless Akimbo decides to leave the bomb site completely wide open, this should be a round here for Akimbo. And yes, Nice does lock that one in. 6th round secured, and now where we had a 4-round difference, we now have 2. But Classless, they're not going to be sweating things just yet. They are able to pick up the M4s. They've got 2 A1s on Louis and Carmine. Even the third one picked up onto Legend. Mason as well going for the A1. Oh no, everyone's got A1s. I get the A4 got refunded. They decided not to pick up the A4 in this round here to favor more utility.
Yeah, that $200 definitely can make a difference with just being able to get an extra flash when you're so light on util. You have to make a lot more plays. You have to get a lot more active when you don't have when not everyone has smokes and mollies to hold back the T's. So those flashes taking to allow you to pop in to take space are going to be very valuable in rounds like these.
And now
with
there are a couple flashes for the side of Akimbo. And there's a few more for Classless. Classless does have a few more of those flashes to work with as we move forward.
Yeah, and with Akimbo surviving with 5 in the previous round, this is essentially a bonus round for them. As they, even if they do end up losing this round, they will get a decent enough buy into the next. Whereas if Classless lose this round or even win it, but only survive with a few players, their economy is going to struggle moving forward. But 1 kill either direction is going to leave us into a 4-on-4 with 40 seconds on the clock, and Akimbo looks to be opting towards this B site.
Ooh, great opener coming out from Nox. And that gives an opening for the bomb to get planted here. The smoke will start to fade. No, it was popped open by that grenade there. Follow-up nade from Nox, though, dunking onto Gertz to find that one, and now it's a 3v2. Legend and Louis. I think around this one, do they decide to go for this retake? You see Flixie pulling back towards T-spawn. I think maybe grabbing some extra utility, perhaps. But overall, bomb going to be ticking down. It's going to be Legend and Louis. They're just going to go for the save. And that's the smart play, right? Might as well keep the M4s up for as long as possible and keep them going into the next round here to just be more of that nuisance up against the rifles on the T side.
Yeah, and like we touched on earlier, I mean, look at the money here for the CT side.
Yep,
it should just be a save. They could opt to force drop 2 M4s from Louis and Legend, but realistically, this should just be a half buy-in, a buy into the next round here. And Akimbo, again, with 3 surviving players all picking up AKs or M4s, their bank is going to start to build, and their bank and their momentum are possibly going to carry them into this comeback. And reminded this was an 8-4 half, and Akimbo with the first 3 rounds of this T side look to try and snowball into a 4th.
They want to continue to snowball into this game. They want to make it into one very large snowball as they keep going. Classless, right now, they do have a couple of pistol upgrades. They've got the 5.7 onto Gertz. They have the P250 onto Kermi, but those aren't really the big ticket items here in this round of round number 16. It's going to be Legend and Louis. When we highlighted last round, them saving those couple of M4s, that's going to be where things are really going to get started for them if they can make it happen. Louis does pick up the first, and Louis sprays for the second as well, takes down Flixie. Legend activates onto Florence there, and these 2 rifles have done all of the heavy lifting here for Classless. Akimbo now stuck in a 2v5. Nice and Noxio, they push forward. There is a bomb on the back of Nice here. Noxio getting a kill as well, but there's still one more player here. And oh my, Noxio getting caught out there, not realizing that there was that 3rd player, and it leaves Nice in a 1v3. Takes down the first 2, and now it's a 1v1. Nice! What a clutch there. Quad kill to end the round there. And Akimbo, they tied this game up at 8 apiece.
Wow, an absolutely stellar performance there from Nice. As that round almost got out of hand and slipped away from the side of Akimbo, but Classless, very, very good heads-up play there from Louis to walk out mid, get active with the one rifle while the other one was holding down that beast bomb site.
Yeah, it was a great play coming out. You know, Classless, they had a great effort. You know, they got those 3 kills just immediately right off the rip. And, oh, that's a little awkward. Katie spotting the shoulder of Louis, or spotting the elbow, to be more correct there. That does a lot of damage. Louis does at least get away with his life, so that's going to be, you know, at least a positive there. Katie, she almost had that one. Florence going to be boosted up, going to go for that peek there, and it's Legend on the AWP. It's going to take the first kill of the round here on round number 17.
Yeah, and Akimbo down a man now, and 5v4 with a little bit of damage onto Louis, but Katie will find the head of Louis and finish him off. As Gertz from back donut does trade Katie out, but Classless again with the man advantage, and Mason gives them a second. Nice tucked over towards Cubby in mid is going to hear 2 players running up Cat. Look at the bomb. That bomb is outside of B, and
oh my god, that's absolutely disgusting. And Flixie spotting the shadow but can't react in time. Gertz closes out the round, and Classless, they just maintain that lead, and it feels like that kind of sums up what we've been seeing so far in this matchup right here, right? It feels like Akimbo is just playing this game of catch up, and Classless, they're just able to just sort of just stave off Akimbo and keep them at bay as they move forward here. And Classless, they win this round, they'll be on double digits first. Akimbo, they obviously want to keep Classless away from that, but they've had to make some sacrifices here. One key sacrifice being Florence, only on that Desert Eagle. There's 4 AK-47s and a decent amount of utility. I mean, missing a few more of those Molotovs, right? They only have 2 of them to really sort of start to, clear out space around the map here. So how those are used are going to be very important as the round goes on. But overall, each team does at least have their pieces ready to give themselves a chance here on round number 18.
And 1 second, sorry, my game was acting up, but
Counter-Strike 2, what you see is what you get.
yeah. Classless up with 1 round in this half so far, and a round lead overall, but Akimbo playing fairly slow. Our clock hits 50, and they will opt to move all of their players over towards this B bomb site.
Yeah, B is going to be the final hit. This looks like to be a very interesting play coming out here. Nobody's died here. We're at 35 seconds on the clock. So all of this action is going to be happening on one bomb site. Flashbangs are sent over. That will delay things at least for the moment, but the bomb will make its way up onto the site. Florence getting that bomb plant down. The real play is going to be Katie on the extremities. Oh my! Gertz! What a shot there! Flicking with the AK-47 to find that shot. Florence will at least get a trade there onto Cave. There's spray happening through that smoke, trying to at least counter back and maintain the player advantage here. But now we're at a 4v4 post plant. There's plenty of shots being sent each way, but there's no utility for Classless to work with. They don't have a smoke, they don't have a flashbang, they don't have anything, but Legend's got a shot to take down Nice. Florence making his presence known in towards Cave. Legend goes for another shot here, tries to finish it with the pistol. Mason gets the kill, but Flixie takes down the bomb diffuser. Mason all alone, and Mason cannot do it. Flixie a double kill there to close things out, and Akimbo tying things up at 9, and even losing a player there before the round ended. Perhaps I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, man, that round got ugly. that round got ugly.
Yeah, Akimbo with a very late B exec, but even with Katie going down in mid, Florence with some very important frags there, and then obviously Flixie closing it out at the end of the round. Unfortunately, they do lose that op. That Noxio picks up at the end of the round due to the bomb, but still, I think they could be very happy with how that round played out when all is said and done, and Classless now are going to be rebuying. They will be able to get that op out onto Legend, and M4 is a FAMAS for Louis, but they will have a lot of fight in this round.
Yeah, there is plenty for them to fight with here, and we've seen some eco rounds go in a very interesting way, especially out from Classless. I mean, this isn't really an eco, this is a very all-in purchase, but overall they do have that compromise on the FAMAS there. They've had to, you know, they've got, it's clearly a tactical move to allow for the Molotov and the flashbang to be picked up there. That one.
And look at this aggression coming up from Kermi. Kermi gonna clear most of lane, doesn't clear the cubby a bucket, but does clear pretty much everything else. Meanwhile, look at this play from Akimbo. Flixie just gonna be walking out onto this A-bomb site, and the only players here are going to be in Donut, and Gertz wins the first duel. Florence with the bomb on his back, doesn't want to walk out on his own, but Katie in mid. Very important duel, and she comes up on top of the first, but Gertz with a second, and Legend, that op rings out true from CT.
Cancels out the bomb plant as well, and that's a huge kill to find. Isn't that bomb plant there for Akimbo? That was going to be probably one of the big turning points here, and look at this Legend already repositioning in towards Temple. Gets the spot, but not the shot there. Forced to play back here, and that might actually be a potential opening for Akimbo to maybe exploit as things move forward here. Mason getting another spot here, but taken down by Noxio. That leaves a bit of safety there, at least towards CT spawn. They know that Legend's still there in towards Temple and CT, and maybe if they decide to pinch onto him, they might be able to maybe scurry off towards the speed bomb set, but they're making a move towards Donut here. Gertz has been having a stellar round here, but no more. Noxio takes him down. Kermi with the trade. Nice, the one tap there to find that kill. There's 15 seconds. Nice has no other option but to play and plant on the site. And with just 10 seconds or so left, he's going for the stick, but Legend, oh no! It's a missed shot, but Legend just barely gets it. But I'm struggling to understand, though, why Nice decided to go for a plant that was so open to CT when that was a very real possibility.
I think Nice was worried that Legend had crept out at some point.
I think so.
Wanted to plant in a spot as safe from the Temple exit of Brokey as possible. But that round definitely gets a little bit interesting there at the end with the one tap from Nice, and then Legend with a missed off shot, but does win it with the USP.
Yeah, that missed off shot, man. Your heart kind of stops for a second as you're just like, oh my, is this going to be what gives Nice the chance to, you know, just like get up, turn and flick the shot, or is it just going to be the USB to finish it? And it was the USB to finish it in the very end. And look at this play coming out from Akimbo. I am smelling a very nice B rush coming up. Legend takes down one by Katie. does find Mason. Nice running through Molotovs here. Going to be catching Kermi, but Kermi still finding the kill. Katie running with the Tech 9. Legend going down through the smoke. It's a 3v2 man advantage here for Akimbo. Gertz and Louis, they've got a couple of Famasas. The economy for both sides is absolutely trash, and it's just going to be an utter brawl here on this B-bomb site. Gertz at least takes down this kill in Anoxio. It's Florence and Katie that have got to hold on. Katie's with that AWP and goes to the peak, takes the shot through the smoke there, and Florence just hiding in the cubby, peeks around and finds the kill, and we continue to trade back and forth here in this half. Akimbo tie things back up at 10.
Wow, Akimbo with a nice little tempo change there after playing a lot of slow, more defaulty rounds, and they change up the tempo, and Classless unable to hold that B site there. An opener from Legend, but with a few shots through smoke, Akimbo are able to find themselves an op that they're able to pick up. And Katie with another shot through the smoke and a nice little corner play from Florence. They're able to tie it back up at 10.
Yeah, that was an utterly demonic play coming out there from Akimbo. You always love to see a good B rush on Ancient because it's always so just explosive in so much of the action that you see, right? Just trades left, right, and center. You never know who's going to walk away with the round. Eventually, though, it was Akimbo that walked away with it, and now we continue onwards, and Akimbo, they have their chance, and I think if they are able to win out this round number 21, I think this would be their very first lead in this map, and it comes at just the right moment here, right towards the very end. Has the barrel been spotted? I don't know if Katie knows, and Katie got a little unaware there. Louis takes down the kill, and now it's going to spur on the hit towards A. Akimbo are sprinting it out. Legend with the USP, finds Florence, but Noxio and the FAMAS takes down 2. Flixie takes down Louis. It's all left on to Kermi in the 1v3. Noxio going to be tapping and holding that bomb. Kermi makes his position known, but I feel like Kermi is just going to be trying to get out of dodge, and Akimbo, they've gotten themselves into the lead.
Yeah, Kermi opting to save this AK is actually going to be pretty important as Classless get 2,900, but just with one less gun to buy, allows you to build up a little bit of eco towards the end of this half. But
a lot for the operators to come out. That's going to be the most important piece.
Yes, it does actually. But Akimbo with their first lead of this game, and this next round is going to decide the fate of the map, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. With the economy and the state that it is, round number 22 is going to be so very important here as Classless, they find themselves with their backs getting put against the wall, and they're forced to fight here if they want to be able to find match point first. Should they fail at that, it will be Akimbo getting to 12 rounds first and having that chance to steal this map away from the side of Classless. And what an incredible way to do it as well, having battled, just essentially from behind for the bulk of this game, and then, just continuing to fight forward and be able to build back into it. I mean, this has been a very long road here for them on Ancient. I mean, Nice dropping 19 kills, Florence on 15, Katie on 18, Noxie on 15, Flixie on 14. They're all performing at a very similar level here. Nice and Katie definitely, I'd say, delivering just that little step above the rest of the squad, but overall it's very even. And you compare this to the side of Classless, they have some pretty, shining stars as well. Legend and Mason both making some great impacts as well. And the rest of the squad, Kermi, Gertz, and, Gertz on the CT side, he's had some huge moments. But overall, Akimbo are just slowly, kind of just taking away fingers here, and sooner or later, Classless, they might not have anything to hold on to.
Yeah, we see another slow defaulty round come out from Akimbo, and without a whole lot of util left to work with on the side of Classless, this op from Legend is going to be very important. And unfortunately not able to hit the first shot, but does get a smoke down, possibly prevent the donut take. Ooh. But Akimbo coming through the smoke, and Legend allowed to get away. And V-post with the op, and doesn't matter. Noxio whips off his head.
Noxio and Florence, what a great couple of kills to secure themselves the A site, and it couldn't have come at a better time. His time was starting to run out, 15 seconds was left, but now Kermi evening things back to a 3-on-3, and this round is well and truly underway here, ladies and gentlemen. Mason and Florence trading blow for blow. It's now a 2v2. They know where Florence is. Florence has gone down. Mason go for the defuse. Louis playing bodyguard. There you have it. 11-11. Classless say, we're not done with Ancient yet. Let's get this going. The whole distance, all 24 rounds.
Oh, man. And if you're Akimbo, you got to be kind of kicking yourself there a little bit. You're able to get into that bomb site, get the bomb down, get yourself in a post plant, but some quick, solid kills coming out for the side of Classless allow them to get into that retake. And some missed shots on both sides, but man, we're tied at 11, and this one's gonna go the distance.
Going the whole distance, but look at each side's economy, right? Whichever team loses this round, they're essentially broke going into round number 24. So this round has a lot riding on it. And, you know, I'm expecting that if this does go to a bomb plant here, the other side, you know, if it goes to a bomb plant in favor of Akimbo, Classless might just back out and save, you know, just for the fear of that if they go for it and they lose, they'll be on nothing for round number 24. You know, each team has to play this round so very carefully and with not much utility either. Classless, they've got a few smokes and one Molotov on Gertz. That one Molotov is going to hurt, though, as you know, they won't have really anything to truly hold back the side of Akimbo, because with Counter-Strike 2, the way that smokes works, you can just send one nade in, clear that smoke out for 2 to 3 seconds, and then you essentially have that 2 to 3 second window to just swing things out onto the site and try and take as many fights as you can. And what did I say? Flixie sends that nade into the smoke, but unfortunately he gets a little overzealous. He gets taken down by Gertz in an instant there, and now it's a 5v4. But Akimbo, they're running it in. Kermi gets aggressive down ramp. Noxio gets a trade, but Noxio once more. Nice already up on the side, takes down Mason. And this is a bomb plant going down here. Does Classless decide to attempt this retake?
Oh, and a dink coming out, I believe.
Oh my!
Onto was that Nox? But yeah, 3v3 in post where Nox and Katie are left on 1 HP, but Nox taking out Legend, and now it's a 3-on-2, and Louis and Gertz find one apiece, and it's all left on Nox in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, and
Nox coming up.
Oh my god! Oh!
Knocks the bomb planter off and finds Gertz, and 17 HP is more than enough, it seems, to put Akimbo on match point. And Classless, scraping the bottom of the barrel, will be able to get out at least one M4, maybe a FAMAS or two, but at the expense of any util. And here we go, Gertz with the...
That was ridiculous. That was absolutely insane coming out from Nox on that clutch there. Just knows full focus eye. He has to get the bomb planter or the bomb diffuser off of it. Swings around, takes down Louis, and now it's, you know, it forced a tactical pause coming out from Classless as they have to make some serious decisions here, right? I mean, Gertz, the only M4 on the entire squad. Kermi's yet to purchase, but with only $2,500, there's nothing that can really be bought apart from either a shotgun or an SMG. Decides to go for the MP9 along with some extra utility. But oh man, this is an incredibly tough round here for Classless.
Yeah, and gonna be working with 2 MP9s, an M4, a 5.7, and an XM. Scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel here. Gonna opt to start with some mid control, but Legend goes down at the hand of Katie.
I have to give some big respect to Legend for pulling out the XM though. Gotta give some big respect to it. Love seeing the XM pulled out. Unfortunately, there was a flashbang sent, and Legend could not see much as he tried to go for that swing and go for that fight, and it was the opener going the way of Katie. And that gives a great man advantage here, right? And could that be just the first of the last here for Classless? They've only got 4 players left. Mason holding close with the MP9 is going to have to do a lot of work here along with Kermi They want to hold on to this B bomb site. Kermi sends the Molotov forward. Mason is going to be going for the fight. Takes down one. But it's Kermi to take down two with that MP9. It's Florence and Katie now in a 2v2. But Florence, the nade, takes down Kermi. Louis in towards cave. And Louis going to be walking through the smoke there. Or at least I was thinking he was. Decides to just play it back. Gertz walking up ramp here. Louis just continues to make noise. Gertz goes down by the hand of Florence, and it's all left on to Louis, who goes down to Katie. 13-11 is the final score line. And Akimbo, they're just able to break the camel's back there of Classless. Classless put up a hell of a show.
Yeah, and Akimbo just on that last round opting to go back towards B, where they've found so much success in that half, and even with some heroics coming out from Kermi with two kills on that MP9, Classless unable to push us into overtime, and Akimbo take it.
Okay, here. Let's hop back into the LCA channel because we do have to get our post-match interview. We believed it might have just been a me issue with the technical issues, but it turns out it was a Faceit issue. So, you know, we're going to be switching things back over. But man, what a game that was there that we just witnessed. And now we get to have a bit of an interview coming up here. We'll be getting an interview with Flixie for the post-match here. So we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just keep on riding. I said it's better inside us. I've been reloading, I'm sure to get the rush that I need. Try to find some solace in a bottle. I keep saying the same thing. I'm sinner. If that's the case, what the hell are you letting me live for? It's changing my eyes and made up my mind. I don't care if I'm right, I'm doing it all right. And it's never what you want now. I swear it's never what you want now.
We're back, and we're joined here by Flixie one of the Akimbo players joining us for a bit of an interview. And we do have camera. I was told that camera was not enabled last time. So, we've made we're moving forwards here. We're making the improvements. And we do have Flixie on. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Hey, thank you.
Okay,
Big
so yeah, this was definitely a bit of an interesting one. I mean, we were looking at this, and obviously, Classless, being a bit of that former Detonate roster, they do have some decently strong players in Mason, Louis, and Legend and stuff like that. So when you as a team were looking at this one, what kind of maybe preparation was going into this one?
I mean, to be honest, we didn't do any like specific prep work. We kind of just focused on improving our team play, really.
Okay.
There wasn't...
Fair.
We didn't really change our play style or plan for this game in particular.
All right. And I mean, looking at the map veto here tonight, it did go to Ancient, and your first two games went to Nuke, so this was a bit of a departure from what you guys had played in your first couple of games. Was Ancient kind of the end goal here for the map veto, or were you looking to maybe play something else?
Ancient is what we were expecting to play tonight.
Awesome. Frack, do you have anything? You have anything to ask Mr. Flixie here?
Yeah, obviously you guys had a very good showing last season. I assume you guys are looking to replicate that, if not top it. With advanced in its current state, obviously I don't want you guys to jinx yourselves or anything like that, but how confident do you feel in the rest of the season and going into playoffs?
I mean, we're super confident in ourselves. There's not really a team this season that we're scared of. Like last season, the only team that like kind of we had nerves to play against was Forsaken.
Okay.
And I mean, there's some good teams, but there's nobody that's like as imposing as that team was last season. So we're very confident in ourselves.
How do you look at Might then? The stamina roster that's come up.
I think that they're the other really strong roster this season.
Okay.
But I don't think either of us are on the level that Forsaken was on last season. I think that for each other, we're both like super beatable.
Awesome. And looking at this game right now on Ancient, it was incredibly back and forth. And for the majority of it, it did feel like you guys were playing a bit of catch up here as Classless. They were just kind of able to sort of keep you at arm's length for the bulk of this game. What are some things that you're looking at there and you're thinking that you were able to leverage to bring yourselves back into that lead towards the end?
I mean, to be honest, we never really felt like we were out of the game. Like,
Okay.
pretty much all those, like, even though we were in a deep hole on CT, it never felt like it was because they were outplaying us. It felt like we were kind of just overcomplicating the rounds and like kind of messing up our rotations.
Okay.
So we know if we fixed our mistakes, we would be able to, still win.
Yeah, and I was about to ask, it's like if when you're looking at this one, what other kind of maybe things are you noticing that you kind of want to look back at and maybe try to improve going forward?
Mostly probably in the mid rounds on our CT. Our T side went great,
That's fair.
It felt like on T side the rounds that we did fuck up, we got punished, and then when we didn't, we were able to just win the round. So the big thing is just our CT side mid rounds and our rotations.
What about you, Marky? What else? What does she got for him?
Marky?
Marky! Wow, I read Mark in the chat, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so used to dealing with Mark. Marky, I love you, but Frack, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Frack. Frack, what do you have here for Flixie?
Honestly, I don't think I have anything else. I think we touched on pretty much everything that I would have wanted to ask. But
awesome. Well, okay, Marky. I'm kidding. But anyways, I guess I'll bring this to a more maybe Counter-Strike 2 related question, because we are in the new game and everything like that, and we do have so many of these. We're in so early into the meta and everything, and I guess I'll maybe bring it to the map pool of the game, and I'll ask you yourself, Flixie, if you're looking at the current map pool, what map would you, if you had to pick a map or something to maybe change out, or what map would you want brought in, or what if you had to make any changes to the map pool, what would you be doing?
I would probably get rid of Vertigo for Cash.
Okay.
I think the colors on Cash need to be less green. Like I don't think there's a reason for that to be a green map, but I think the way Vertigo plays is pretty stale, and with the nade meta, it makes ramp control even less fun.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
I think the way Cash would play would be really fun in this game.
Do you have any of the love for old Cobblestone, or are you of the camp that you
No.
can just stay away?
No, the thing with old Cobble is that when people played it that want it back in the pool now, they don't realize that they were just playing horrible players and that it's really not very fun to play against real teams.
All right. I understand there. Well,
'Cause I mean, I was in the same boat for a while, so it's no hate, but I played like a Cobble Cup like 2 years ago, and wow.
okay.
Yeah, I think we can leave Cobblestone in the past.
Yeah.
Nah, I want it back. I'm here. I'm championing for Cobble. But okay. Anyways, I don't think I really have anything else that I to specifically ask. So I think I'll leave things open for you, Flixie, to maybe give a couple shout outs here before we send you on your way.
Oh yeah, shout out Ice Spice. She coming over later.
Okay. All right. Well, all right then. Let's bring things back to the caster hams here with just racking myself here. Thank you, Flixie, though, for joining us. And,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
congratulations.
All right. Well, Frak, not Mark. Mark's a whole other person. I think it's time we about wrap things up here. And I mean, we unfortunately had those technical difficulties there, but we got to see what was a very great game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, we did. Very back and forth game, and Akimbo with a lot of resilience, clawing their way back from an 8-4 half and stringing together a lot of rounds. And even with a lot of those round losses, Akimbo was making it a very close round, keeping Classless on their toes, and in the end, Akimbo were able to pull it over the line first.
Yeah, absolutely there. And, now they find themselves still maintaining that flawless record, if I'm not mistaken, now 3-0 in their season. And I'm sure they're going to be plenty happy about that, right? I mean, starting things off 3-0, just keeping it relatively easy breezy. I mean, that game certainly wasn't easy by any means. They definitely had to overcome some stuff to get the edge over Classless, and now they prepare for their next game, which, if we give things a quick look, it looks like it's going to be Wednesday, November 8th at 9 o'clock, as Akimbo will be getting prepared to take on Lost Hills. And then I believe, if I continue to check here, yes, it will be, and then a follow-up on the 9th up against Wanted Goons. So a couple of very exciting matchups, coming up. And of course, we, the LCA Broadcasting crew, will be there to cover it all. But for now, I think it's time we send you all on your way here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and watching. I have been your host, CernerSandals, joined here by Frak. Thank you very much for coming on. I know you're feeling a bit under the weather today, and, like you said before the broadcast, you, quote, feel like death. So thank you for sticking it out. And, hopefully we can get on a few more games like this. But from us at LCA, have a great night, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Peace.